I'm leaving the excavation site. How did he come down? I've got Gorski's signal.
So soon? It's unlikely to be him.
Then who?
Not who, but what. It's weird. Dr. Gorski hardly ever parted with it.
You were correct, sir. It's just our probe. It looks inactive.
Can't be completely broken if you picked up a signal. I'd say it's running in safe mode. Please try to power it on.
Do we have time for this?
It's for a good reason, Doctor. The probe could prove useful in the search. And besides, you'll see.
Okay. I'm opening the probe. Turning the systems on.
No, stop. Wait for my instructions. There's a button on the left side of the fuse box. Hold it, and then turn the dial again. Now go ahead.
Slide records?
Correct.
I didn't know we had access to them.
You couldn't have known. This is not standard procedure. But as they say, extremis malis, extrema remedia.
Let's take a look. A photo of the first days on the surface. They started exploring the littoral zone almost immediately.
They reported as much. Wasn't until the fourth day the comms failed.
I recognize these structures. This is where they began to dig. Hours passed. 3 crew members are still there. Dr. Gorski must have left already.
We lost contact shortly thereafter.
The probe followed him, and he followed the detector's readings.
Going after those metal structures.
Yes, that's what I meant.
What's next?
Last slide. There's mostly noise.
Nothing in particular stands out to you, Doctor. They were digging and suddenly, poof, people are dead?
No need to shout, Astrogator. I'm just letting you know what I see. That's all. Hang on. An absurdly high electromagnetic field reading.
That's something. Sort of. What are the earlier readings?
Checking. Still high in the slide just before. And earlier, quite normal. It happened in a matter of seconds. But there's nothing except dunes. Sand, a few rocks, a shadow.
Shadow?
Another sandstorm, I guess.
All right, Doctor. Let's move on. You may turn on the fuses now. We'll take the probe with us. Good. I've got it on my radar. Now I can give commands to the probe. And? What do you see? Is it working correctly?
If you run it on manual steering, sir, then it works just fine.
That's exactly what I'm doing. You have a keen eye. I'll put it in auto mode. From now on, it will follow you, Doctor.
Oh, it'd be nice to have some company. I mean, apart from yours, sir.
1 second. That's odd. There's no data in the probe's memory. No ID, no nothing. Do you want to give it a new ID? Name it, basically. After all, it'll be with you for a while. So, what's it going to be?
Huh. A name for the teleprobe. All right. I can think of something.
Copy that. I'm listening.
Please enter Luna. Luna.
Done. Now, a few more tweaks, and you'll have a flying measurement center at your disposal.
I don't see these metal structures anywhere. The detector's measurement is very clear. I'm going straight on.
No crossroads? Branches?
Not yet. Just one thick, tangled vein. I guess I found the first point.
You guess? We have to be sure, Doctor.
Well, I'm at the first clear branching of these structures, such as reported by Dr. Gorski.
All right. What happened next?
He followed the branch to the right. Another thing he reported was a massive vertical structure. The probe detected something.
I see that in the readings. What is it exactly?
Well, the structure from the notes, it fits the description perfectly. Well done, Luna. I knew I could count on you.
Well, we didn't bring it to the surface for no reason, even in the first stage procedure.
And now I'm going to apply for my own.
As soon as you find Dr. Gorski, I'll see to it myself. All right, how about that point? What does it look like? What caught the doctor's attention?
Looks sort of like scaffolding set up underground. Inside the ground, actually.
An unusual structure shape?
Definitely.
Do you think someone actually built it?
Well, it's a far-fetched theory, but seems so. The next point, the third one, is a metal bundle running along the bottom of some water reservoir.
Interesting. An object as such should be easy to locate.
the water.
And the metal bundle?
As expected. It's at the bottom. Before you ask, sir, there's little to say about it.
All right. So how many are left?
2 points. Or at least that's what he told Koval. What he did next, it's hard to assess.
Well, the battery and the detector last for only a few hours, so he couldn't have gone much further.
The 4th point is a structure that fills a rock massive, on top of which he found surface structures.
Sounds like a crucial node in this whole system.
Gotcha. I found his tracks. Finally, some tangible evidence that he was going this way.
Ah, good. And it's downhill all the way, Doctor.
I wouldn't be so sure, Astrogator. The next point is at a height of approximately 100 meters. Definitely uphill. I think we have the 4th point. I confirm. It's the 4th one. I see our flag. I think I'll catch up with Dr. Gorski on the other side.
Well, that wouldn't be such a bad scenario, right?
Of course not. Though I wouldn't mind if we bumped into each other before the climb. The structures undergo noticeable changes here. If it keeps growing at this rate, I don't know what I'll find at the end.
What kind of growth are you talking about, Doctor? Depth, width, complexity level?
In every aspect.
Interesting. Do you think these veins lead somewhere? To something?
I'm leaning more and more towards that conclusion. But I can't tell what we might expect at the end, if it ends at all.
Three, two, one.
The land is departing.
Yes, they're on their way.
So Artie has transported Dr. Krauter.
Affirmative, Melanda. However, the robot didn't find him in the tent.
How's that?
The doctor was already some distance from the camp. I think he was following you, Yasna.
Sir, why didn't you say anything?
The androbot located him quickly enough, and I thought it was pointless to worry you.
Well, thank goodness he's safe now. I've reached the top. The doctor discovered something new from here. Something he called bushes.
Huh. I've heard that term before.
In their conversations between Koval and Gorski.
No, Yasna. You're the one who reported it to me. Right after you landed.
Seriously? Well, I don't see anything like it now, sir. Wait. Koval noted down the parameters. Azimuth 350. Distance 200 meters.
Copy that. I'm sending the probe.
Got it. I see the bushes.
And the doctor?
Hard to tell. Visibility is poor. It's gonna be harder than before. I don't know how the doctor...
When it comes to finding a safe route, there won't be a problem. But you'll have to get there on your own 2 feet.
I suppose the probe will carry out the first task. It's capable yet?
Of course. I set the environment analysis mode. The probe will calculate the best route between your location and your destination. It'll guide you along the defined path. The calculations will only take a moment.
Hi, Luna. Lead the way. I must say, it's a clever device, this probe of ours. Hey, can it fly for this long?
Yes. Longer than you can stand on your feet.
Sounds like the perfect research unit. Maybe even better than a human.
Well, let's not exaggerate.
Of course, I wasn't being serious. However helpful they may be, they're still just tools in the hand of man, often faulty. We have a problem.
Something serious?
I already mentioned the faulty machines, right? Well, the route determined by the algorithm goes over a chasm.
I can repeat the command.
No. I'll go around.
Unfortunately, this is an outdated model. Such mistakes are inevitable. But the perception module itself has already been greatly improved. Its accuracy increases exponentially.
Exponentially? Can you imagine us, proteinaceous creatures, developing so quickly, sir?
No, not in the course of evolution. You can't perfect a person like that.
That's right, you can't. We wait thousands of years for visible changes.
Oh, have you started to fear for your position?
Well, everything indicates that the clear distinction between humans and robots will soon disappear.
And then what?
Well, if we assume that they'll surpass us, things will get complicated. Because in order to program a brain with computing power equal to that of a human, you need a brain with computing power higher than that of a human. Ergo, a man cannot make a machine smarter than a man.
Then who else would design it?
Self-learning algorithms? Some spontaneous process? Or pure chaos? Something inhuman, that's for sure. Shh. Astrogator, can you hear that?
What am I supposed to be hearing?
That's the point. Nothing. Silence. We're talking about robots, and Dr. Gorski still hasn't spoken on the channel.
Well, I don't know. He must be a long way from here.
These bushes are kind of weird.
You better stay away, Doctor. I'd like a brief description. Just keep a distance.
Allow me to use the language I would use to describe living forms, sir.
Of course.
So they look like pituitary, brush-like formations. They can be singular, though in some locations they create a uniform thicket that covers the walls of the ravine in a rusty brush-like layer. They're high, more or less, from 1 to several meters. They grow out of cracks in the bare rock. That's how it looks, to put it briefly.
Would you also venture to guess their significance? Some function, purpose?
Staying on the topic of biological analogies, these bushes remind me of corals, in a purely visual category, because they're far from marine organisms. So I would guess that these are colonial structures, perhaps rock-forming ones. However, their main structure has nothing to do with corals. No noticeable mesenchymal tissues, no nidocyst, matocyst, or spirocyst. No visible oral discs.
Yeah, all right, Doctor. I didn't ask for a marine biology lecture.
Astrogator, Gorski's not here. I'm afraid he continued to explore. And if he went where I think he did, he might have lost contact with the camp as well as Dragonfly.
So we will most likely lose contact too.
Possibly. Well, there's only one way to be certain. It's your decision, sir.
Please continue your search. We have to find it.
That's the unwritten rule, isn't it? Under no circumstances do we leave anyone behind.
That's right, Doctor. You can lose everything else, but you have to have the crew on board. The living and the dead. This is one of the most crucial imperatives, even though it's not in the regulations. Doctor.
The line's breaking up, but I understood. I'll let you know, sir, when I come out of the tunnel. Roger that.
Altitude 5,000. Ignition 10%. I record data dropout, but otherwise still looking good. Entering final descent.
Copy. Entering final. Hopper has landed. I repeat, Hopper has landed. Astrogator, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Any side effects? Landing wasn't too hard on you?
All good. Spine still in one piece. No signs of overstrain. Not even shortness of breath.
Perfect. Hopefully the hike to camp goes just as smoothly.
I'm going outside.
Visibility?
100%. The dust has already settled. I've located the second lander. Our people are still on this planet.
Ah, very good. I was afraid they might try to fly off, which wouldn't be the best idea given the loss of communication with Dragonfly.
Sir, something's wrong.
What is it?
The hatch is half open. Did they report hydraulics failure?
How should I know? You were the last person in contact with the crew, Doctor.
Right. I'm inside.
And? How is it?
Even if they wanted to, they couldn't go back to Dragonfly. Their lander looks damaged, to put it mildly. Or more accurately, it seems like a storm has passed through it.
Understood. I mean, I don't understand how it happened. But that means...
Hopper is the only vehicle that can take us home. Affirmative.
Right. Well, then we can't afford another mistake. I'm taking the lander into orbit. I'll send it directly to the camp as soon as we find a suitable landing zone.
We've gotten out of worse than this. Equipment breaks from time to time, that's normal. But now...
Go ahead. What's bothering you?
This lack of communication. It takes too long. Especially considering there's a cyberneticist amongst them.
Yes, it worries me too.
You were right, Cobble. It's beautiful here. I have an object in sight. This is where they searched the ocean's biocenosis.
Meaning... oh, where they caught that fish, right?
Yeah. They stopped here first, then walked along the coastline northward.
Correct. But I think you might consider taking a shortcut towards the east, straight to the camp.
Just need to find the right route.
How do you know? Are there any signs of the crew?
I found a cigarette butt and a pack. Someone was smoking here.
So, they didn't give a damn about the regulations.
Disrupting the ecosystem.
And that's not the point. I understand you want to minimize the effects of our interference here, Doctor, but the mission's safety is at stake. I don't think I have to explain to you the dangers of igniting a dusty atmosphere. Preserving the integrity of Regis III's already extinct ecosystem is not a priority in this scenario. Negligible, actually.
Security procedures exist for humans. The rule of integrity is for the sake of everything alien to us. We shouldn't place one above the other.
You're saying, Yasna, the mission and the safety of our people have the highest priority. Always.
Always? Are we really that self-righteous?
Of course, Doctor. We must be the most important to ourselves. And they must be the most important to themselves. Whoever they will be. In the end, The strongest will survive. Isn't that how evolution works?
Not in a biological sense, Astrogator. Besides, excuse my interruption, sir. Can you please confirm that I'm on the correct route?
Yes, I confirm. This rate will reach the camp within an hour. So, continue. Doctor, interference is at the heart of human nature. Man would still be a monkey if he'd only looked at trees instead of cutting them down.
Yes, we have a nasty nature. Can't argue with that. Convenient passage.
Excellent. Please speed ahead. We still have a long way to go.
Well then, you should save your breath, Astrogator.